So Deepti, now let me ask you a question. Since we talked about the book and you have read the book, tell us, our viewers, what are your takeaways from my book?
So, Sudeep, I think the book has a lot of things which can be very good takeaways for everyone. So, there are things that I completely resonate with and have a profound impact on me as an individual, and I want to call some of those out, and I've
Okay.
made a note of them. So, we'll start with the first thing first. So, spirituality in action and not in isolation. I think that's where we really break the myth of spirituality. Spirituality is not about being a monk, going in a monastery or in the
Not
Himalayas,
only that.
not only doing that, but implementing small basic practices in your daily life to make the world a better place for
Absolutely.
your next generations to come, for the universe as a whole, right?
Actually, if I say this, the definition of karma is also related to that. The good karma, the bad karma that people talk about. Forget about all that. Learn from your own awakening and then apply on the practical world. That's about it. Yeah,
Absolutely.
please. Absolutely.
The second is that, grounding in high stress environments. High stress environments can really take a toll on you. And of course, as we grow up the ladder, stress never goes down, it just keeps going up. So, in order to maintain your stress levels, there's some basics that you need to follow. Knowing yourself, knowing the world around you, being self-aware, being aware of the uh, of the other people. What that does is that, that reduces the element of expectations. And
Absolutely.
I always believe that being a giver should always come without expectations, because if giving comes with expectations, that's actually a killer, and it will just lead you to a more vicious circle than and you'll not be able to come out of it.
I
So
mean, if you see the shloka, karmanyavadhikaraste mavlu, I mean, you can't, if you are doing any act with expectation, that's a transaction.
yeah.
That's a selfishness. Um, the moment you give without any expectation, let the universe decide, and universe does decide to give back.
Understanding that every soul connection is timed and meant.
You gave profound example of that in previous episode, and if people have not watched, please go back and watch that episode. Wonderful
So
example.
I think that not only helped me personally. Of course, it's more relatable when it comes to personal being, because you can see there are soulmates that are connected with you who will help you awaken your journey, live your journey, seek your journey, and things like that. But I do believe that it is extremely important to also understand that there are some closures that will come to your life. There could be death like experiences. There could be, times when life is absolutely transforming you. But it's all there, scripted, defined. But at the same point in time, I do want to call out that some people start believing that, hey, if in case it's all destined, let's stop acting. Well, I think even if in case you're stopping to act, that is what you're destined to do. Sorry,
Exactly,
that's
exactly,
the truth. So,
exactly, and that's the truth.
if in case I'm talking about a story, everybody takes different elements from that story. But trust me, only pick on the elements that you truly belong to.
Absolutely.
And hence, I've always been a preacher of action more than destiny. But I do believe, and I'm a firm believer, that a lot of things in life comes with chances and not choices.
So Deepthi, I mean, I just want to add one line on that. You mentioned expectation, right? Uh, Expectation is from this particular position, it will come back to me. I want to give back to the places where it is meant to go and impact. And not necessarily that will come back to me, but that will elevate the universe, make the larger things happen. And that's the larger purpose. That's the larger purpose. So without any expectation, play your role. You had mentioned in your examples, Deepti, that I want to look back as to what contribution I make, not as to contribution gets reflected.
Absolutely.
Let that happen. That's somebody else's job.
Pay it forward,
Pay
as
it
we call it, right?
Yeah.
So even if in case we are touching one soul through this conversation, and it helps them elevate their journey, I think we've made an impact.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
I would want to talk about this one because I do believe that this is powerful in my journey. Living lightly in the heavy world. I am so I'm a person who's always brought this element that positivity actually attracts positivity, and it's more like the universe comes back tenfolds with positivity when you spread the world. I've seen it happening in life. Trust me, there have been moments, I don't know if in case I passed on love or care or affection, I actually got it from so many different sources.
You get it. You absolutely.
Sometimes it's so difficult to believe that it's actually coming to life. So I do definitely believe in the power of karma. Karma without outcome.
Without outcome.
That's our last
Absolutely.
message to the viewers.
Absolutely.
And I've in my house I've kept kind of a small magnetic wall which talks about who I am as a person. And one of the magnets there is a white circle which says what goes around comes around. And that is that is for me to bring myself to the reality of what I am and who I truly believe in. And helps me keep myself grounded and real. So
Absolutely.
with that, I think we come to a conclusion of
Absolutely.
our session.